Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our time together for Everyday Prosperity. I'm Lori Lamantia, and I'm here with the beautiful Trisha Fisk. How
Good
you doing?
morning, everybody.
Good
I'm happy to
morning.
be here.
Awesome. And she's got new earbuds, so we can hear her.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay.
Um, so today we're going to talk about the power of your beliefs and the effect they really can have on your creations. Because the last 7 weeks we've been talking about being a powerful creator, and it kind of behooves us and becomes clear that sometimes our subconscious beliefs could be limiting or hindering or holding us back from truly experiencing ourselves as powerful creators. So today we were just going to do a little bit more of a dive into the beliefs that we can hold. And in the program that I work with, it's called Theta Healing, they actually consider beliefs programs, subconscious programs that we've come to hold now deeply that are forming the basis of our lives and the way we approach life. So it's something that usually happens younger when we're younger, and something happens to us, and then we decide something about life. Like you see something happen with your parents, maybe they're always in debt, and so you're like, oh, indebtedness is always a part of life. That's just the way it is. And
Hmm.
so we start to hold on to some of these, and then they become part of our reality, and you might have indebtedness or feel you can't move forward because of indebtedness, or you'll always be indebted, not only financially, but to other people. It's kind of fascinating how these beliefs that we accumulate from when we're young start to shape our world. And that's what we want to talk about today. And some of the impact that those beliefs can have on us as they're shaping our world. So Trish, I wanted to turn it over to you so you can put in, your piece about beliefs, especially from a yogic perspective.
Right. So I'm working with a mental health group, Taurus therapy group in Batavia, and we're actually specifically targeting beliefs like this: fear, shame, anxiety, stuff like that, grief, that unconscious, that build these behaviors unconsciously because we don't often know how to face them.
Right. Yes.
Or, yeah, we don't always know how to face them.
Or we don't want to, like with
Or
shame.
we did,
Yeah.
right, right,
Right.
right. So my teacher, Rod Stryker, has said that one of the most important ones for all of us to look at is shame. So I taught a workshop with Taurus therapy last weekend. And so we decided, okay, let's look at shame. We'll talk about shame and then we'll do a practice, pranayama and meditation, to help let go of shame. And it was really lovely. Um, I chose to use Warrior Two as my apex pose this and talk about feel yourself. See, and that's what I love about yoga so much is I'm not in my head. It's about feeling.
Mhm.
How does your body feel? Feel yourself a powerful warrior. Feel yourself powerful and strong and out there. And
Mhm.
it went it went really well. I could feel presence in that room of people embodying that. And then for a for a meditation, we chose a meditation on self-compassion.
Beautiful.
And yeah, and then Jamie, the therapist, to make it comfortable for people, she just had them at the beginning, like rate from 1 to 10 how you're feeling, and at the end, rate from 1 to 10 how you're feeling now. And there it was a shift for everyone who was there, which is really wonderful. Again, for me, it just speaks to the power of yoga. And when you use it with such intention to
Mhm.
break free of these barriers, um, it works. It
Right.
helps. It's supportive. And we are just starting to get actual science that is affirming that for us now too. So
And I
it's
love
not
that.
just in our mind.
Right, right. Well, and I love the pose, the that warrior too is a power pose. And that's the truth of who we are, right? We're powerful creators. We're divinity walking. And so
Yes.
shame it's one of those vibrational energies that we feel that's just not it's not a full truth because our full truth is that that powerful warrior. So that's why we have the disconnect, right? Anytime we
Right.
feel less than our magical, powerful self, our internal barometer goes, whoop, nope, there's something wrong here. That is, that's out of alignment because alignment is I'm magical, I'm powerful, I'm glorious. And shame is not that. And so, and I think that, if people are courageous enough, and you don't have to, like you said, you can do the pose, but our minds want to go back to the shame. There's a belief under the shame. There's a reason why you think you're shameful. And that takes some courage and willingness to look at it. And this is what I think is so beautiful about the abundance work or the theta work that I've been doing is, and then once you look at it, you say, this is the shame's been keeping me safe, maybe, or, indebtedness has kept me from taking other chances, and so you look at it and you mind the learning, and then you clear it, and then you replace it with the truth of who and what you really are, which is an unlimited being, or, having the experience of downloading yourself with, I know what it feels like to live without shame. I know I know how to live without shame. I know that it's possible to live without shame. And so, because I think for people, that's the interesting thing about beliefs. Not only do they have us living a certain way, but I want to say delete or make us not realize that we can live without that belief. So we have
Right.
to
Yeah,
create
it's
the
like noise
counter.
cancel.
Yeah.
Right. It's like noise cancellation.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
You're in
Yes.
you're in this belief, so you're not hearing the whole orchestra. You're
Right.
only hearing one piece.
Right.
Right.
And it's usually, some
Right.
out-of-tune
Right.
violin. And, so that replacement, you're clearing, you're seeing, and you're canceling the old belief if you've got that presence, but replacing it with the truth of who you really are. And
Right.
a lot of times I think we have a hard time with that because we're so caught in the belief.
Absolutely. And again, that's why a full yoga practice that includes pranayama and meditation carries you from here you are now get to this piece. And then, the final piece is always feel love, love yourself as your creator loves you.
Right.
And
Boom.
if you have a moment of that, and then that's stuck in you, that starts to tear down that old stuff. You can't fake that. Starts to tear down those old beliefs. It starts to poke you a little bit when that shame comes back, like, wait a minute, I remember like you being gone, and I think I'll go back there. Right, I think
Yeah,
I'll go back to
absolutely.
that place.
Beautiful, beautifully said. And beautiful when, if somebody allows themselves to go there and make that, feel the power of being in that in Warrior Two, and then check in and go, whoa, there's such a disconnect here. I choose Warrior Two. I choose that. That is, yeah, really powerful.
Yeah, it does make a difference. And I know, again, what I hear Rod Stryker say a lot is, what's the thing happening in your life that you're tired of repeating over and over and over again? And then find the belief that's doing that.
Right. There's a
The
belief
create
underneath that that's a
that,
repeat. I can't be successful. I don't deserve to be successful. I don't deserve to have abundance. or I'm not worthy of abundance. Worthy and deserving, those two handmaidens, worthy and
Right.
deserving, are pretty much every if at the root of our poverty consciousness is the opposite of those. I'm not worthy and I'm not deserving. So where did that start? And are you willing to let it go? And how is it, you've learned some stuff based on that, but are you willing to replace it with this truth of that power person that you really are, that divinity walking? It's just fascinating to me. But the belief
Me.
can keep you repeat, repeat, repeat.
Right. 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 And, but you got to recognize it.
You got to be
You
willing to
do
see it.
have to
Yeah.
recognize it. Yeah. It isn't going to automatically leave on its own.
No,
You got
no.
to recognize it. And that's why, again, though, it speaks over and over to what we keep saying is how powerful we are as creators
Right.
because
We
we're
could even
create
create
right.
poverty.
We could, yes, we could create poverty, we could create shame, we could create guilt. What we're really powerful.
Right. And
So,
free
at
to
some
do.
point, right, at some point, like, aren't you tired of that? Isn't it
Totally.
worth investigating,
I really
letting
think,
go?
though, that I think the missing link, and this is why I wanted to do an abundance module, is I don't know that they know what to replace it with. Sometimes you're so caught in that's the way it is, that's the way it's always been. Look at the world. Look
Mm,
everywhere you look, you see evidence of more, and that's the weird thing about the law of attraction. It keeps bringing to you more proof. So, it's unfortunate that the law of attraction, you have a belief that the world is an indebting place. And boy, the more you believe it and the harder you believe it, the more the law of attraction is going to pull it to you. So, yeah, pulling
mhm.
that belief. And then what I was going to say was, I do think people don't know what to replace it with. And that's what I love about what you said about yoga. And that's what I love about the theta healing work is you replace it with the truth of the creator, the essence that you were born with, your birthright, the magicalness of baby in the womb, that perfect as energy, that essence. That's what we remember.
I went to a baby shower this weekend and it was called a blessing way. And it was not so much about bringing a bunch of gifts and stuff. It was we had the pregnant mother and baby in a circle, and we each had a rose, and we each told a story of our own on giving birth, and it was beautiful. Everybody spoke about this experience of love that they that was just so powerful. It was impossible to avoid or ignore or anything. Even those mothers who'd had a little postpartum depression talked about in that moment of seeing their baby for the first time, just how this love explodes around you. So it was a beautiful way for everybody to stand around her and share, one of their story about childbirth and what it was like, and it was because it was so positive. um
Mhm.
I know a lot of times when I go to baby showers, the story ends up being who had the worst delivery, the
Right,
longest hours
right,
and stuff
right,
like that, but this
right,
was the opposite of that. And in fact, the advice that everybody was giving her was, don't buy into that. Don't buy
right,
into that stuff. You could go into the hospital and have that baby in 45 minutes.
right,
Don't buy into it. It's got to be a long and painful thing. So it was really lovely. It was positivity and authentic positivity, not just saying nice things to her.
right. And
So it was,
paving the way to, there's so much in that story about how the beliefs, you guys rewrote beliefs if she had them, that you gave the opportunity, but we do have to choose. It could go easy, and there's
right.
so much amazing stuff in there. Sorry, my brain's like swirling with. how wonderful a story that was and how wonderful it shows that we can rewrite all these messages, the past message.
Yep.
And we don't have to agree to them, which is really all a belief is somewhere along the way we believed to something and then it programmed our mind and then now it's painting the world in that color, and all the digging work or understanding where did that belief come from, and then mine the gold of it and just pop it and say it doesn't have to be true for me going forward. And there's a lot of great beliefs like, being a mother is amazing. Having a child is one of the greatest gifts of life. There's, all those beliefs and that little child, we were all once. We were all that perfect little mush ball in our mother's wombs. And we all know that experience of being that perfect soul. And the stuff that happens after is part of the opportunity for us to see it, own it, and then upgrade it or, release it. That's it.
Right.
And
Right.
beliefs, they seem so much more big, like, well, I'm afraid to let that go because then my whole world will change. Yes, that is true. And that was one of the things that became, is really clear. You change a core belief, life does change. And most times it's for the better because you're replacing it with that magnificence. Replace it with magnificence, and your life, of course, will get better and you will feel better.
Beautiful.
And that's the power of beliefs and being willing to look at them, right?
Yes.
So
I have a
that's
poem.
right. Good.
I, I,
I
I have
appreciate
a
that.
poem, and it's Mary Oliver, who's one of my favorite poets. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of all things.
Mm, beautiful. Mm. Thank you for telling that story and reading that poem. I really do think it's an example of how we can have a new perspective and a new approach. And
Yes,
the willingness to look at a shame or regret or a resentment, find out where that started, and then be willing to clear it and upgrade it with a new truth about our wonderful, magnificent baby-like perfection, I think is a really great idea.
yes, yes.
Okay. Well, I think this was good, right?
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, have a wonderful week and spend some time looking and seeing how those beliefs might be impacting your creations.
Right. Ask yourself, what are you sick of doing over and over again?
Exactly.
And
I'm ready for this one to change.
right. And then, yes, go for it.
Go for it. Let it go and change your world. Change your belief, change your world. Love you guys.